A special PlainvilleAthletics.com special event.
Two long-standing and famed coaches at Plainville High School, people who have dedicated a tremendous amount of time and effort to the students of Plainville, and one of them was able to join us tonight, one was not, but John is going to share some thoughts, and I know Cheryl has a message she'd like to read also about one of our coaches this evening. So John, should be on.
Good evening. Is this on?
Yep.
I've often been told I don't need a microphone. Getting older. The two coaches that have retired at the end of, or during the last school year were Steve Guerriero and Randy Doucette. Steve is not with us tonight. Fortunately, Randy is here with part of his family anyway. His better half for sure. Steve was the golf coach at Plainville High School for 49 years. That's right, 49 years. He also helped out at basketball games for many years, and he was both an assistant and a head football coach during the 1970s. Randy was the head coach for boys swimming for 34 years, head coach for girls swimming for 21 years, and some of those were the same year. Girls swim during the fall and boys swim during the winter. From 1973 to 1988, Randy's boys teams compiled a record of 147 victories, 47 losses, and 1 tie. He initiated our girls swimming program in 1978, and he started a middle school swim team in 2001 and coached concurrently with the boys winter swim team. He coached the middle school team for over 10 years without compensation until it became an official middle school sport. He coached league championship teams 9 times. On the state level, he served as CIC Class S Boys Tournament and Class S Girls Tournament Director for a combined total of 30 years. He served on the CIC Boys and/or Girls Swim Committee for a combined 37 years. In March of 2007, he received the CIC Service Award for dedicated service to Connecticut high school swimming and diving. And during the 2008-09 year, he received the CIC Connecticut Boys Swimming Coach of the Year Award. All those stats and victories are obviously very well deserved and excellent, but both Steve and Randy were educators first and foremost. And they served the Plainville community for nearly a half a century, and they helped thousands of our student athletes both in and out of the classroom. They were consummate professionals. They dedicated their lives to the betterment of our youth, and I'm pleased to be here tonight to help in their recognition.
Certificate for Randy.
Randy, come on up.
Please accept this award of recognition to Randy Doucette for spending so much of your time with the students of Plainville High School, teaching them, inspiring them, engaging them, and challenging them. This award is presented in appreciation for 34 years of service as head coach of Plainville High School boys swimming to 21 years of service as the head coach of girls swimming. Your loyalty and friendship will long be remembered. Thanks, Coach.
Just very quickly, I grew up in Plainville, went through all elementary, middle school, high school in Plainville. When I got hired out of college, I got hired 3 weeks before my end of my college career, and my first job was Plainville. So I've never left Plainville in my entire life. So giving up coaching was very, very hard. I spent yesterday fishing out on the ocean at 2:30 in the afternoon, and I said, this can't be all that bad. And lastly, I married my high school sweetheart for 42 years now. So thank you very much.
Mitch Rizzuto reporting for PlainvilleAthletics.com. Here at the Board of Ed meeting, we're at the Middle School of Plainville with longtime, now retired, head coach for both boys and girls swimming at Plainville High School, Randy Doucette. Randy, thanks for giving us the time to talk a little bit about some of your accomplishments in a very long and successful career as head coach of both the boys and girls swimming team. Randy coached 34 years as boys head coach, 21 years as girls head coach, and also started the middle school swimming team in 2001. So basically talk about your time here at in Plainville Athletics and some of the accomplishments.
I think on the surface it was always to keep a program and fill it full of memories. Growing up in Plainville, we had, it was very simple. It was a tremendous lifestyle, very, very simple type of an atmosphere. Going through high school and all the other sports was very filled with memories and with good times, and that's how I approached coaching. I wanted all the kids to have the best possible experience. I wanted them to be good citizens. I wanted them to be good in class, and I just felt that if the standards were there, they would get to those standards and make themselves very good, productive citizens. I think one of the best awards that we got in swimming, and it hasn't been announced, it was just omitted, but our girls swim team a few years back got the Connecticut Swim Officials Award for sportsmanship, and at that point I knew that we were very much on the right track. We always held that we respect each other and respect the opposing teams and respect our facilities and respect their facilities. And when that award came around, I knew that we had reached the level that I wanted to get the kids to. And as far as work ethics go, when you get to that point, the work ethics fell into it because they were working hard for an alternative goal, and when we got to that award, it was achieved. So I knew at that point on that we were there.
And a lot of the time, with high school athletics, as you just talked about there, is it's tough to really enforce that team aspect and just be respectful. When you're playing a sport that you love, appreciate the sport, appreciate the opponent, appreciate your teammates, and the fact that you were able to instill that for so many years, over 3 decades at this high school, and have the respect that you have. It takes more than congratulations to recognize your accomplishments. But just moving on to the aspect of longevity for you here in the Plainville school system, what kept you involved? What kept you, pretty much, wanting to continue to coach, wanting to continue to be involved for so many years. 34 years is a long time.
Yeah, staying involved and staying as active as I did was basically I was motivated constantly by the kids on the team, parents. We had some parents that they gave up just as much as I did on their sacrificing to get kids to practices, and there were a lot of times when I had to ask a lot of the parents, and as they fell into our program, they could see that there were changes going on at home. I mean, at first when you come in as a freshman and you're falling asleep at the supper table because of the hard practices, sometimes as a parent you're saying, this guy, what's he doing? But then over amount of time, they see the development and they see, what the team comes together, and they can see the work in progress, and that kept me motivated just throughout the years. I absolutely tried as much as I can to do beyond the things that would normally come, like being on all the committees, because I wanted to know and be up to date, and boys going to Florida, girls going to New Hampshire. It's just something they're going to remember. And if you give them a good high school experience like we had, I think it's just going to keep generating. And that's really what I tried. I tried to get them the latest equipment. Everybody gets all the equipment they can handle, and warm-ups, and everything that I possibly could do. It generated it back to the team. And they wear their warm-up jackets around town or to functions and stuff, and it means something to them.
And I think that's what sets high school athletics apart, is that the relationship that you have with your coach and your teammate on the high school level is just a little bit different than when you go up if you play in college, or if you swim in college, whereas it means something. It's your hometown, and you probably acted a lot of times as a father figure out, as far as the school environment goes to a lot of your swimmers.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the standards were there, and I pretty much held the line on how I wanted to approach it. And my goal was to get as many kids into college as I could, and that for a 5-year period, we averaged 10 swimmers a year in college swimming. And we didn't have the numbers, but we were pushing out a lot of good talent, and it showed when they graduated and they went into college to swim.
Yeah, and it may be, one of the tougher things as a high school coach is encouraging all of your swimmers to do well in the classroom, because that, school does come first. And I'm sure over the years you've had times where you had to turn down, an athlete that was a really good swimmer, but maybe wasn't quite cutting it in the classroom. But I mean, how did you try to motivate kids? Try to say, you got to do well in school. You got to do as well in school as you do in the pool.
Yeah. Well, the teachers actually knew that I didn't want to tolerate fooling around and things like that in class. So on a number of occasions, they would come to the pool and ask me what I could do to straighten it out. And usually,
extra laps?
And usually the next day it was straightened out. So, that was part of it, and that's what when we had that good sportsmanship award, there was no problems at all. The kids were good in class.
Big smile on your face, right?
Yeah. I didn't get any complaints. So, yeah, I think they know that if they do mess up in class, that we can't allow it. We have to abide by all the school rules and not push it. But the mere fact that they're working out for 2.5 hours a day, you know, sometimes they would be swimming over 3 miles a day, and you really just don't want to fool around. You want to get through your classes, and you want to get through your homework, and you want to get through everything so that it's not such a big mess when you get into your classrooms. They have to discipline their time.
Yeah.
And I think that comes along with all of the hard work and the effort and everything. You have to discipline your time or you won't make it.
Yeah. So you've been here in Plainville. You went through the Plainville school systems, 34 years as a coach at Plainville High School. What finally made you say, you know, I've done what I can, and now I'm going to relax for a little bit? What was that thing that clicked in your head?
Well, I was going through the girls' season, and I have one of my best friends living down on the coast, and he says, you know, we can go fishing every day, we can do everything, and so don't you think you put in enough time? And I said, you know, it might be that close, because I was never able to leave the pool and leave the stuff in the pool. I always took the stuff home with me, and you know, you're spending 4 hours a night working on something that's not clicking, and that gets to you after a while. You know, getting kids ready for conferences, or saving some for the states and saving some for the opens. Who's going to work out here? Who's going to work out there? It
takes a toll.
Yeah, it took its toll, and I had so many kids with variations of abilities that I wanted to get them right on the button as far as their championship weight would be, and then you go on to the states and then to the opens, and it took its toll. Plus I was running all the state championships for Plainville too, and it was good. I mean, we were known for that. We drew in, hosted 26 and 27 teams. And then the diving, we started hosting the diving, and in there you're working, okay, I got to get this set up, but then I got a team over here, I got to get ready. And so
it takes some passion it takes a very strong passion to be able to put in not only your work as a coach, but everything that comes on the side.
Yeah.
And you've done that for over 3 decades.
Yeah.
And this recognition and this occasion is more than appropriate. And you've affected, thousands of Plainville athletes, whether you know it directly or not. And I'm sure your legacy will be remembered forever. And I just wanted to congratulate you.
Thank
again.
you very much.
Your service is greatly appreciated by the entire Plainville community. And with PlainvilleAthletics.com, with head coach Randy Doucette, this is